Nate Russell has been on the scene for a long time. And Joe Poirier is a very promising upstart amateur. I think that this is going to be a very exciting, action-packed match. I think that it's going to be really tough, though, for Joe to make up for the experience that Russell brings to the table.
That is the story of this fight, because, as you say, when you say someone's been around for a long time, Nate Russell legitimately has been around for a long, long time. He's got 7 amateur fights under his belt. His last time fighting for Cage Titans was in April of 2016 against Richie Santiago for the flyweight title that he's fighting for tonight. Richie Santiago won that fight and is now co-headlining this card as a seasoned professional. That's how long he's been in the game. Since then, he took a 3+ year long layoff, and he has come back with 2 wins since 2019. A win in July of 2019 over Jake Bagley, who's standing cage side right now with eyes on this fight, and he won a unanimous decision over Josh Smith back in May of this very year in 2021. And his first fights as an amateur, his first 4 fights before going 2-1 in his last 3 were all finishes. So he is a devastating finisher, a tried and tested veteran of this weight class, and he is coming for this belt for the second time to add it to the wall of belts he already has across the amateur MMA scene in New England.
Yes, he definitely has a reputation that precedes him. I remember watching him fight, you know, obviously like for years. And sometimes it happens though. Life happens, you take a break, but he's back. He's on, he's gotten back to his winning ways. And I think he, like you said, he wants this second chance at gold, and he intends to take it. And standing across from him, however, is definitely a very game, very dangerous Joe Poirier.
Joe Poirier is coming out to the cage next, young in his career, 2-0, definitely a promising up-and-comer. This should be a very fast-paced fight.
All finishes, 2 chokes.
He's starting his amateur career off the exact same way Nate Russell was. 2-0, 2 first-round finishes, 2 choke finishes, but he's demonstrated a good striking game. I've sparred Joe Poirier before. He's tough, he takes a good shot, and he's not afraid to stand in the pocket and give it back. But we know that his ultimate goal in there is to get it on the mat and take your neck. Thus far throughout his career, he's been successful at that, but he easily has the toughest test of his career in front of him in Nate Russell, the seasoned veteran we spoke of earlier.
You know, at that weight, he's also very tall, standing at like 5'10". Yeah. So that's a pretty unusual advantage to bring into the cage at that weight, and that's significant. You know, that's 6-inch height advantage there, and I think that's gonna very much play to his game, considering that he does bring the strike to the table. Russell's gonna have to wade through a lot of fire to get in there and to exchange with Poirier.
These flyweights move so quickly.
And Poirier has been hungry for this title shot. Ever since his last win, which was back at the last card before the pandemic in January of 2020 with a rear naked choke over Brandon Nyford, he was clamoring for a title shot right then and there. And this being his first fight back in the second card we put on, he got his wish. So the long layoff, though no fault of his own, it's coming to an end tonight. So let's see how it goes. Even though he's been more active on the scene as of late, the more recent fighter, Nate Russell has had the more recent cage experience, as he's already fought in 2021. So we're going to see how that plays into factor, as ring rust is something to consider. But Joe Poirier does have youth on his side, being 13 years the junior of Nate Russell.
He has youth on his side, and he definitely is one of those guys who, you know, Lally was talking about before. He's taken this time off to hone his skills. He's not been sitting around. He's been in there training, preparing for this moment that he's been waiting so long for.
And I've discussed this with several guys, and this happened with myself, where during the pandemic, when I wasn't able to fight, I actually increased my skills a lot, and I found out with a lot of guys, because you take the pressure off training for a specific opponent, and you just get back to the roots of the martial arts and just training because you want to stay in shape, you want to be prepared. And I'm sure that's what Poirier has done, and we're about to see tonight.
It's as you say, you take the pressure off, you get back to learning. I'm sure that his game has only increased, and especially at such a young age with that dedication, he's probably going to step in here as a whole new fighter that we have not seen before.
It's too easy to get wrapped up in a specific opponent, what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, game planning for that. So it is just great to be able to see some of these guys who have spent time just honing their all-around skills.
It's almost a matchup of two different eras of New England amateur mixed martial arts. Nate Russell, like we said, he's collected belts across different organizations, but the Cage Titan belt has evaded him already once, and he's looking for that to be only a one-time occurrence as he looks to hand Joe Poirier his first loss. And Joe Poirier, hungry young man, looking to he's looking to take the path of Dion Rubio, of Rich Santiago, of all the flyweight champions that have held this belt. Chris Mutino, Jose Lugo, Mitch Raposo, all these prominent professionals. He's looking to follow in their footsteps as we wait for the tail of the tape coming right up. And this one is sponsored by Operation Vet Now.
We got Nate Russell, 38 years of age, weighing in 124 pounds, 5'6" with a 66-inch reach. Joe Poirier, much younger, at 25 years old, 125 pounds, 5'10", and a 65-inch reach. Let's see if that youth plays into his favor.
Ladies and gentlemen of Plymouth Memorial Hall, are you ready to kick this main card off with our first of two amateur title fights that we have in store for you this evening? Are you ready for this main event to kick off? This is our next contest, an amateur mixed martial arts contest for the vacant amateur flyweight championship, scheduled for 5 rounds, 3 minutes apiece. Introducing to you first, in the red corner, with an amateur record of 6 victories and 1 defeat. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall, and he weighed in at 124 pounds. From Hartford, Connecticut, he's representing FAA. Let's hear it for Nate Russell. And now introducing his opponent, standing across from him in the blue corner, with a perfect amateur record of 2 victories and no defeats. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, and he weighed in at 125 pounds. From Carver, Massachusetts, he's representing SBG East. Let's hear it for Joe Poirier. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this amateur flyweight title fight is Brian Miner.
All right, we got Poirier in the black, and we got Nate Russell in the capris.
It's funny that you earlier mentioned, or someone mentioned, that it's a battle of generations, because the shorts, the fight fashion has changed. Yeah,
absolutely.
Old school MMA shorts for Nate Russell.
Full circle. It was short shorts back in the day. We were 60s, 70s, and then it went long shorts for a while, and we're back to the short shorts.
Fashion is cyclical.
And we're back in the 20s. Short shorts are back in fashion. Joe Poirier rocking them black and white. All black for Nate Russell. Nice right hand from Poirier in the exit.
Poirier fighting nice and long, as he should for his height.
Nice leg kick off a feint.
He's using that height advantage, switching stances, staying active with that lead hand, which I like to see, putting it high, so it's a feinting, sticking that jab out there.
Nice
kick by Russell, knocks him down.
A little bit below the knee, right at that calf area. Beautiful placement.
Russell showing his experience, very elusive with the footwork, which counterintuitively is smart when you're going against someone with the height advantage. Make him come to you a little bit.
That's the 3rd low calf kick that Nate Russell has landed, but Poirier hand at the same time on that one.
That is the danger of throwing them naked.
Yep, that right hand was open right down the pipe, but Russell already leaving some welts on that lower left calf of Joe Poirier, who's now in the southpaw
made
stance.
him think twice on that last one. That's what he has to do. He can't let him land those unanswered calf strikes. Those will add up very quickly.
Keep in mind, Joe Poirier has never been out of the first round yet. Calf kick to the other leg.
FAA is known mostly for their wrestling, but they have very underrated, great striking as well. And we're seeing some nice leg kicks. Now we've got Poirier pressing the action, but it is Russell with the underhooks
Double
here.
underhooks.
Flipping
Looking
it.
to turn.
Great job reversing position. He got those underhooks
Presses
instantaneously.
Poirier against the cage.
Proving your point about their wrestling heavy dedication down at FAA in Connecticut.
Yeah, he was very quick to the draw on that. I'm assuming he's going to start, yes, he's starting to work his way behind or attempting to.
Good head pressure, too, using that forehead as a fifth limb, controlling Poirier's head against the cage. That forehead diving right into that edge of the chin, right where the jaw connects. It's no fun. No fun being there. Oh, man.
Good
just
head pressure.
beautiful.
Under the chin.
Nice dirty boxing as well. Credit to Poirier, he's doing a good job. He worked his hands to the inside for a moment, whereas he previously was giving up the double underhooks. He's being very active with his free hand, looking to reach over for a guillotine.
Searching for
Threatens
that
it,
choke.
forces his
Russell
opponent to the
rolls
ground.
to get out.
And that's his specialty right there, Joe Poirier.
This is a very good position for Joe. He's searching for that choke. Russell's taking his time. He's got 10 seconds left. We should be seeing the second round here.
Nice short punches from Russell.
Very wily, inexperienced Russell is.
They end in a clinch position.
Yeah, his experience really showcased in a lot of facets of that fight, mixing up his strikes, attacking the low leg kick early. Those are things that are going to pay dividends in a long fight. Playing it safe in the clinch, getting those underhooks and utilizing that head pressure because he knows how dangerous Poirier is early by snatching the neck. And when he did snatch the neck, he showed his composure with his experience getting out of that bad spot and regaining control of the fight. Poirier, we're going to see a lot of questions answered as he gets off the stool as he enters the second stanza for the first time in his amateur career. As Janelle and Shai get us ready.
5 rounds in this fight.
It's a long night.
Rounds to go.
It's a long time. I mean, I'm sure that they have worked on his conditioning diligently at SBG East for Joe Poirier, knowing that he's a quick finisher, but knowing that he's in for the toughest test of his career, and he might have to swim in the deep waters tonight. And Nate Russell, this is not unfamiliar territory for him at all.
He's been here.
Seen it all, done it all in the cage. This is no different, and he's just got laser focus on his face right now as he tries to capture this belt at the late age of 38.
You can tell he's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
He was very smart and measured in that round and very successful. I think that the biggest moment was that huge right hand from Poirier, and he remains the more explosive fighter. So Nate is going to have to remain smart, vigilant, and crafty because he cannot go head-to-head with that.
I like how Nate does multiple feints as he's moving his feet. He'll stop and he'll feint multiple times, and then he'll move out. Good job of using his footwork.
And there's so much at stake with that Cage Titan strap on the line. And this title in particular, any amateur title held by any fighter at any weight class at Cage Titans is an accomplishment of its own right. But this particular one, the flyweight one, has produced so much top talent in the professional ranks alone. Like I said before the fight started, Chris Mutino, Rich Santiago, Jose Lugo, Mitch Raposo, all people that are prominent professionals even still to this day that have held that belt.
Seeing some crafty wrestling from both fighters, but it is Russell with the underhooks again. Very disciplined with his grip fighting.
And he's got that Gable grip, just sucking the torso of Poirier in.
Interesting that he releases it, looking to land some strikes.
It looked as if he was going to fold him down a bit there, and he decides to let go.
There's all these little battles and transactions happening at the same time. Like Poirier managed to step behind, and that made a big difference in preventing himself from getting taken down and letting Russell use his grips to his advantage there. Russell tries to step behind, Poirier steps to the front. These little things are showing great skills and awareness here. Nice knee.
Nice knee. Poirier goes low, goes for the takedown.
Russell picks him up with the underhook. That was
That
close. You can
underhook.
see the explosiveness of Poirier there.
That head pressure again.
Dirty boxing as well.
Going for those body strikes, going for the head. Really good head control every time he's in this position. Getting his head right up under that chin. Making it uncomfortable. Not allowing Joe to circle out.
Just making it a grind. Slowing the pace down of the quick finisher. And then finding an avenue to score his own strikes. Maybe it'll pay away for a finish. Oh, speaking
Joe's
of which,
shooting for that guillotine again.
And he's got that power guillotine grip. That looks like it's under the chin.
Nate shoot for that single leg.
Ooh, trying to see. Nate Russell's doing a great job at fighting the hand that's going to seal the grip together. But Poirier has an opportunity, maybe go Darce, never mind. The
Nice
composure.
job.
The composure and the reversal.
Good job of Nate to stay a step ahead.
Yes,
He didn't
exactly.
go for the immediate threat. He looked one step ahead and prevented that choke from getting locked in the first place.
Absolutely. He knew that that forearm was under the neck and was like, okay, this sucks, but he can't put me out unless he gets those hands clasped. So
Yeah.
let me just hook this real quick with the wizard grip and breathe and get out of here. And he did. Poirier, though, showing how quick he can attack that neck.
We saw that attempt in round 1 and 2. Nate Russell finishes on top. We're 2 rounds in.
Really crafty, very wily, very experienced. The experience is really showing here, where Russell is able to defeat the physicality and the explosiveness of Poirier. Although they're both showing great skills, don't get me wrong. But again, the craftiness is what's allowing Russell to pull ahead.
Janelle and Brittany walking around with the round marker and that shiny Cage Titans amateur belt. That is what these two are fighting for so hard. And yes, exactly. These guys both seem like a tough out for anybody at this weight class. Seems like even though Poirier is probably down 2 rounds thus far in, he's already learning lessons in this fight that he's going to come back better. I mean, the fight's not over by a long shot, don't get me wrong, but you can tell he's already gotten triple the amount of fight experience through 2 rounds than he has throughout his whole career already.
This is the exact experience that you want out of an amateur title fight before you go to those pro ranks. And we got 3 more rounds to go.
I'm very surprised by looking at the difference in their breathing. Russell looks very composed and like he's used to being in these deep waters. Poirier obviously in great shape, but doesn't seem like he's been here as much, and clearly he hasn't with his quick finishes in the past.
He hasn't. Nate has the experience. Joe's got some more muscle to feed too.
Looks like a little bit of excessive water in the corner of Joe Poirier getting dried off from referee Brian Miner.
Brian Meyer with the wipe down.
What a catch. Well done. All right, cleanup done.
Round 3.
And round 3 to go. Poirier now stalking Nate Russell. He's got to know he's down on the scorecard and needs to make
Nate goes
something
for that
happen
calf.
to get back in this fight if it goes to a decision, because he can't afford to lose another round. And that's something you don't want to do, is hunt for submission in desperation late in the fight.
Man, that punch whizzed by, but that was a scary right hand. Would not want to take that.
I think he felt the wind on that one.
Yeah.
Poirier's got hands.
Poirier's got his back into cage again.
This has been greatly a clinch battle, though.
And you've seen them in this position a few times, and it seems that Nate is able, and he's going for it again, to get the better, more dominant position when they end up in these clinches. And he's on top.
Beautiful takedown
The
for Nate
difference-
Russell, right into mount,
Into
too.
mount.
See if he can posture up and land some real damaging blows, or if he's going to sit here and play the professional, play the experience card, and just sink the hips into the abdomen and make him breathe heavy. Take his time here, don't rush it.
I see him working the neck of Poirier to the cage, which if he was able to keep that would have been fantastic, but you also risk, now Poirier is looking
going
to
for
use
that
it to
gift
stand
wrap.
up, but
Yeah.
he's still behind.
Gift wrap is almost cinched in. Russell looking really to attack it, but Poirier recognizes it and gets himself out of dodge by putting his hand in between. But you got to be careful you don't trap both of your hands there.
He's got the neck.
He's got the neck.
No
He's
hooks, but real tight squeeze on the neck.
choke
And
is
there's the
deep,
tap.
and the tap, and
Nate
that's it.
Russell scores the 3rd round finish.
He took him into deep waters.
Took him into deep waters and drowned him with the rear naked choke. He collects another amateur title belt, and he is the next amateur flyweight champion, handing Joe Poirier his first loss. He knew he had a very quick starter and a quick finisher ahead of him, slowed the pace of the fight down, grinded him out, wore him down, found the neck, took it, got the win. Congratulations to the newly crowned champ in Nate Russell.
Diligent, methodical, that was championship material right there. And again, Love to see it at 38 years old. Very inspirational.
And this might be a circumstance where he might not be looking to jump into the professional ranks. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him about it. Don't know what his goals are in the sport. But if this is towards the end of his career at 38 years old, which is about a good age to start wrapping things up in this profession, you know, that's just a tremendous accomplishment to add to an already incredible career. So let's see if he wants to defend it or if he wants to go pro or if he hangs him up. Many options for this man.
He looked cool, calm, collected from the beginning, very focused, and just slowly picked away at Joe Poirier. He was able to get in controlling positions, landed some really nice calf kicks that seemed to affect Joe somewhat, and he got the victory. We have a new champion in the house. Nate Russell, ladies and gentlemen. "13 years the elder of Joe Poirier."
Ladies and gentlemen, keep it going for these two warriors. Referee Brian Miner has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 43 seconds of round number 3. Giving you your winner by submission due to a rear naked choke and new Cage Titans amateur flyweight champion, Nate Russell.